Each year, Monterey Peninsula College awards a member of the community the President's Award. The President's Award symbolizes the connection between the community and our college and is given to people who contribute in extraordinary ways. And this year, I'm very proud to say it's Lynn Davis. Lynn has served here as a trustee. He's served on our foundation board. He's a strong member of our community. And one of the things that really strikes me is that Lynn has given to this college of himself, his time, for many, many years. He has sustained a commitment to both his community and our college.
One early memory was my dad teaching me how to ride a bike, the classic. And I just remember riding my bike and thinking, he's right behind me, he's got the seat, and looking back and he wasn't there. But there he was, 10 feet back cheering me on. Yay, you've got it.
My dad was captain of the football team, my mom was head cheerleader. And I was born 10 months after. They were young. And apparently he was captain of the football team the year they lost every game. And I went to that high school, so this was the legend I followed. And I guess my dad was at MPC when I was conceived.
He graduated high school in 1959, but he hadn't planned to go on to college. So I kept saying, I think you should go to college, you should think about it. And some other people talked to him too, so he decided he would go to MPC. And I think it's just so special that 60 years later, he's been given this award. And the first connection happened when he was 18 or 17.
My dad was a foreman for a big construction company in Oakland. I was born here in Monterey. We moved to Oakland until I was about 10 years old. But Dad left the construction industry and came here and went into the grocery business, Forest Hill store in Pacific Grove. Charlie Higuera, who owns Grove Market now, was our butcher at one point.
There we go. Lynn's father gave me a start in the meat business in 1951. I don't want to count those up, but that's a lot of years. And all kind of the Davis. About 1965, right out of school, Lynn ran the store up at Forest Hill.
After MPC, he went up to San Jose State and got a degree in marketing, and then came back and took over at the family business.
I've got a picture over here at the end of my counter where a group of butchers there that worked with the Davises. Lynn and his wife Lydia, just super, super great people.
The store was very special because it wasn't a chain store, and that was another thing Lynn did. He was head of the independent grocers in Northern California. And Bruce Arris did the paintings and murals in the store. Whenever Bruce needed some groceries, he would come in and talk to Lynn, and they'd make a trade.
Bruce Arris, hell of an artist, and there's one of there that was in the meat department at Forest Hill store.
Bruce and his family, they would come in and charge groceries. And then Bruce, he would look around and he'd say, I think that you really should have murals over the produce department. And he'd say, the meat department, that really does need some color, and I think murals. I have all of this lumber from Cannery Row, from hotels and stuff, and it would look great if we did the front of the store, and we'll paint it red and white, which of course came off his grocery bill. So that was Bruce, and he was just a wonderful guy. When we lived in Oakland, my dad would go to a job down by the Alameda area, and if he was going to a job on a Saturday, he would take me down and I would sit on the wharf. I had a pole and I would fish, whether there was any fish or not, and I'd spend all day. And it's been that way for the rest of my life. I just love to fish.
Fishing has always been something Lynn's loved to do, and I think in some ways would have enjoyed being a fisherman, done that for a profession.
He has become captain of Monterey Bay. When I first started fishing with him, we would always be having to ask other people on the radio where to fish. Well, now, over all of those years, guess who people ask where to fish? It's Lynn. 1969, I was a teacher at David Avenue School, and I was invited to Kiwanis. Lynn at that time was president of Pacific Grove Kiwanis, and he was such a dynamic speaker and fun.
He's intent on doing the work that he's doing while at the same time being extremely compassionate. He's just a very caring, good person in that way, and he's quiet about it.
I would say me and my grandfather are really close, Grandpa or Papa as I call him. The Dojang is a place where I work out. I've been there since I was 5, so it's really nice to be able to talk to him about something that I consider probably the biggest achievement I've ever had up to this point in my life, is earning my black belt. He was the one who enabled that. He's really proud of me and has been really supportive, so since he paid for it, I have to tell him about it. Like, well, what would he get out of it otherwise, right?
He's steady and he's calm and modest.
I think modesty is just really a key word about him. Yeah, when you think about everything that he's done over the years.
Oh.
But he is the sort of person that doesn't need the limelight. He just does so many things for so many people that we don't even know about.
Well, Lynn's always been involved in the community. Right after we were first married in '61, he got involved in Kiwanis. He went on to be lieutenant governor in Kiwanis, and I believe Lynn was the youngest person that was ever lieutenant governor for Kiwanis in California. After the grocery store sold, he went to law school and went on and ran legal services for seniors, which was another way of giving back, even though it was a paid position. He had volunteered there for a year or 2 prior to being asked to take that on. In between those jobs.
Good shot, Merv. Okay. Get it over. He's coming the other way, Merv. Okay. He's coming right up to you. Get that closer. Yeah. Good one. Whoa. Yeah. That one. Monterey Bay salmon.
Lynn's leadership at the MPC Foundation has been so valuable. He has served as vice president and president of the board of directors of the foundation during the time that we had several critical fundraising campaigns. The Renaissance campaign, we raised $1.6 million that went to the brand new Library and Technology Center. Beyond that, in 2002, the $140 million facilities bond to upgrade the entire campus. And it was the MPC Foundation that raised the money to pay for the advertising.
To put forth a bond costs money. The college cannot by law do that, but the foundation can. I know that Lynn was instrumental in making certain that the initial $60,000 needed to fund the promotional activities that go along with it and the legal things that needed to be done. Lynn was very critical to that.
Marilyn Gustafson was executive director at that time, and we called every taxpayer from Marina to Big Sur. And probably 70% of the people we called were just all in favor of MPC getting a bond issue. As soon as we got that bond issue, Charlie Page came to me and said, "You need to run for the trustee board." Coming in. It was a wonderful time to be on the board of trustees. Number 2. We had $145 million to spend on rebuilding MPC, and we had good morale because everybody was behind us.
Well, it doesn't make any difference with Lynn, whether he was a grocer or whether he was practicing law or he was serving the community or whatever. He's driven by some pretty simple values. Among them, no matter who you are, and no matter what you do, he's going to treat you the same.
He's dependable, he's consistent, he listens, he does his homework, and he's fun.
When I think of my father, I also think of my husband, and part of why I chose my husband are two qualities that I feel like my dad really embodies: integrity and big-heartedness. And he's got a great sense of humor, and
he's probably one of the best whistlers I know.
yes, and my dad is an incredible whistler.
He loves to laugh, and he's really quick to figure out a way to make light of a situation and joke about it. I mean, he's definitely a serious person, and he's an intelligent guy, but he really loves to have a good laugh, and sometimes at your expense.
My dad ran a grocery store, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom until I was in high school or college, and then they both went back to school again, and my dad suddenly was a lawyer and my mom was a therapist. But I didn't grow up with those people. And my dad never gives up. He keeps trying, and he's got a heart of gold. And he's a softie, but he doesn't really want you to know that.
Fishing, it's kind of meditation for me. I love to get out on the water, any kind of water, but mostly the ocean. And it's just a time to think and relax. And at the same time, you're on, vigilant about what's happening. So it's just, I love the water, period.